Welcome to the 106th edition of Make Pro Wrestling Majestic again. I am Tiger Hay.
And I am Peanut Gallery.
So, we're not going to be doing a lot of filibustering like I did last week. There was a lot of matches for Crockett Cup. So before we get into it, I'm going to give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs up. It was better than I expected, but once again, when you have like 30 matches night one and then like another 15 night two, it's just a lot of wrestling.
It is.
So I don't have a picture for every single match. We're not going to do that. So we're just going to have this background for these, and then some matches have specific pictures. So let's go into Blood Force Trauma and the Outrunners. The Outrunners won the last chance match during the pre-show or the dark matches, whichever one comes first. It was a fine match. It was a double-team flatliner for the win. The Immortals, which was JR Kratos and Odinson taking on Country Gentlemen. It was a fun match overall.
Yeah.
Just, you know, Haas versus Haas.
Yeah,
but the Immortals won with Kratos to the grave. I thought that was interesting because Country Gentlemen are the United States Tag Team Champions.
Yep.
And
they were eliminated first round.
Yep. Alex Taylor and Joe Alonzo had a good match. I really like this match, and this was to determine somebody that will be going into the Junior Heavyweight Championship #1 Contender Scramble, Night 2. And Joe Alonzo won with a cross arm breaker. I liked it. I thought it was structured well. Bobby Fulton had a segment. You missed nothing. Like, you didn't.
Right.
The Mortons took on Arez and Toxin, and I really liked how they did the swerve here with Ricky Morton becoming a heel.
Yeah.
Like, full-fledged heel. It's like, okay, that was very different.
Yeah.
And I just thought they did a really good job at that. It was a belt shot by Ricky Morton for them to win, and this is kind of where I just have to give the commentators all the credit in the world. They just make every moment feel like the biggest of deals in the world,
Yep, they
and
do.
it's amazing. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
it's great. The brothers of Funstruction taking on a cut above, which was Thom Latimer and Rhett Titus.
Yes.
It was a good match overall. Funstruction are, I mean, they're clowns.
Yeah.
They're clown wrestlers. If you're like, oh, it's a comedy, it's the brothers of Funstruction.
Yeah. This is, and okay, we're talking about a nostalgic, you know.
That's not, this is not new.
Right.
There have been clowns in wrestling for a long time. It's not like the origins of
Right.
wrestling that we know today were from the circus.
Yeah, so there were clowns from the beginning.
Yes, literally from the beginning.
Right. We just don't expect them to be running wrestling companies.
That was mean. It was a trip and roll up in a fine match. I liked it. Camille came out to talk. It was totally useless, but it's her home state, so it's fine.
Blah.
SVGs took on Jinetes del Aire, which was Octagón and Myzteziz Jr. It was a fine match. 450 splash to advance. Oh, by the way, a lot of these tag team matches are related to Crockett.
Yeah.
2-night tournament. I don't like it. I'll bitch about that later, though.
Yeah.
Hardcore Team War, which was actually a match that they promoted quite a bit. La Rosa Negra got into a car accident, so she was unable to compete. She is not dead. She is just hurt. So they replaced her with another girl. I have no idea who it was. It was fine. It was Hardcore Team War. They did like the weird, go into the ring, elimination. You can't be in the ring, but then they're not fighting on the outside of the ring. It's so unusual.
Yeah.
I don't like this Team War thing. It's so weird.
It is kind of weird.
I mean, I like how Impact does it, where they come out individually with a weapon, and then you can use that weapon. It's like, okay, that's a way to integrate Team War and make it work.
Right.
But this does not work for me. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's odd. It's very odd. It was a coal miner's glove for the women's tag team champions team to win overall. Whatever. We're not going to do like thumbs up or anything for these just because we're running through these. We might do like final one for the finals, but other than that, no.
There's just a lot of matches.
Yeah, Magnum Muscle, which was, oh God, what are their names? Mims and, oh God, what's his name?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. The Mile High Magnum dude.
Oh.
I can't remember. I cannot remember his name right now, but he teamed with Mims.
Yeah.
I almost said Miz for some reason. And they took on Mike Knox and Trevor Murdoch, which I really like as a team.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about them as a team when it got to it, but they impressed me.
Oh yeah, they're very good.
Obviously, considering that they won.
Yeah, they won. Well, they won the whole thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's cool that Trevor Murdoch won the same night that a couple of years ago, way back in the day, he and Lance Cade won the WWE World Tag Team Champions.
Right.
It was the high-low for Mike Knox and Trevor Murdoch to win. It was a car crash match. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. Jinetes and Max the Impaler took on the Midnight Riders, which was Chris Adonis and Titus, who is still, he's actually very popular. I'm surprised that people are really backing him, but he did fine in this show just in general. But it's just, it was a weird match.
Yeah.
Because I feel like NWA has no idea how to book Max the Impaler.
Well, they're very hard to book because
yeah, they are.
Yeah,
I mean they are because on one sect because they are I am having a real struggle.
They're big.
Yeah, they're big.
Woman.
Well, physically, yes, but they identify differently. So it's like, how do you book this?
Right.
And I think this is where that got hurt.
Yeah.
NWA, I'm sure they're fine getting beaten up. Have them in a competitive match.
Right.
We've seen men on women wrestling before.
Judias took a lot of beating.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm pretty sure Max the Impaler wants to do more than just stand in the corner and have this awkward. It just felt so awkward.
It did. It felt awkward. Anyways.
It was a disqualification for the win because obviously they don't want anybody to pin Max the Impaler for reasons, and obviously Judias because reasons. But yes, Midnight Riders won. EC3 and Thrillbilly Silas. This was a good match.
Yeah, it was.
It was a well-structured, very well done match. I really am digging this EC3 that they're presenting to me. It's something that he needed for a while.
Well, they're giving him the freedom to do so.
Mm-hmm. And I also do like how they did this with Thrillbilly and his girlfriend getting kicked and he didn't help her at all, and it was just structured really well. A good story match, and it was a roll up with the tights for EC3 to win.
Yep.
Overall.
Very, very heelish, which is good.
Yep, exactly. And I think this was the main event. Yeah, it was La Rebellion. They were going to be taking on Fodder and Flip Gordon, but Fodder got a foot injury during the show, which, once again, this is why you don't do two-day tournaments. It's very bad. So it was Flip Gordon wrestling La Rebellion by himself for a while. And it was a frog splash after a Vampiro appearance, which I was actually surprised about, for Rebellion to win in a fun main event overall. I was surprised on how good this show was. I did not expect it to flow as nice.
There was a lot of matches.
There were a lot of matches, but NWA has this weird thing about knowing how to pace a huge card like this.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say 30 matches, I'm not kidding you. And that was all the matches that I just described. Was one night, and that wasn't even half the matches.
Right.
There were dark matches and pre-show matches that we didn't even talk about.
Right.
So it's a lot of wrestling. I mean, it was definitely a lot of wrestling, but once again, they paced it well. So that was part one. When we come back, Peanut Gallery, what are we talking about?
We're going to talk about CM Punk.
All right. Very, very, very straightforward.